may be a little controversial, but I don't think you should trust anybody. Don't compare your timeline to someone else. Hey y'all, it's Try Marie. So for today's video, I am filming a college advice video. I am entering into my last semester of college. So excited. I graduate in December. So I just thought it would be fun for me to, give some advice on what I've been through since I've been in school, and just try to help people who are thinking about going to school, or who are going to school, or who are like a freshman in college, or whatever the case may be. Like, or you can be a junior in college or a senior in college, and these are some things that you just didn't know as long as you've been in college. And so I just decided to do an advice video. Disclaimer, I know college is not for everyone. This video is just for the people who are going to college or who are thinking about going to college, and you definitely don't need to go to college to be successful. But if college is something that you want to do or try, then this video is for you, and hopefully this is insightful for you and very helpful. Let's just start off with the basics. You finally got accepted to college, and or you're thinking about going to college. Where are the first steps that you should take? I think the first steps that you should take, very first thing is, when you're thinking about going to college, ask a lot of questions to whatever school you're considering, and ask students there, ask professors there, ask the advisors, ask whoever you can talk to. So many different questions. I think one of the questions you should be asking is, how is the life here if you're planning on staying on campus? How are the classes here? How are the student teacher ratios here? I go to a smaller school, so usually there's no more than, I want to say, maybe 15 students, if that, in one of my classes. So, and if you don't like a small school, then that's something that you definitely need to ask is, how is the student teacher ratio? Because if you have a smaller student teacher ratio, you're more likely going to a smaller school. And if you want a bigger school, a bigger university experience, then you should be asking those type of questions. You should also ask about financial aid. A lot of people, I know, pretty much common sense, like, unless you're getting your school paid through other means, but I feel like a lot of people have to have financial aid or use financial aid, and you really should ask the financial aid office all the types of financial aid that you can get. Always apply for a lot of scholarships if you are able to, and if you're able to receive them, make sure you are checking with your financial aid to make sure these things are applying to your account, because if not, they're going to harass you saying you have a bill due, and if you know your bill is supposed to be covered, make sure you're talking to the financial aid people or your business services or whatever it may be. Talk to them and have really all your ducks in a row before you start school. I also recommend touring the school before you go. I heard this as advice when I was a senior in high school, or maybe I was a junior in high school, I don't know. But I heard this advice. This person had went to a school and they ended up not liking it because they thought it was their dream school, but they just said, oh, it's my dream school, I don't need to tour it. And then when they finally got there, they were miserable. And I did the exact same thing. I went to a school that I did not tour, and I don't like it, but I just stuck it out because I'm almost done. Like I said, I graduate in December. So always tour the schools that you are considering. And I say, if once you've done narrow to like your top 3 schools, I say tour them again, so that way you can actually get a feel for it. And if you're touring during like when school is in session, I definitely recommend asking the students that go there, how do they like it, how are their experiences there, how are the relationships, how easy is the environment, how would it, certain questions that you should be thinking to ask are some of those. I think you should definitely tour the school, though. If you don't, you might find yourself transferring out of the school that or you might just be like, I'm just gonna stick it out because I started here, so I'm gonna finish here. I don't think that's really, me personally. I probably should have transferred to school that I was at because I just genuinely didn't like it, or it was a tough transition. But touring the school is very, very important. So after, once you done made your decision on what school that you're going to and what you have decided, what you want to do with your schooling, you're now finally in school. And I just want you to know that you do not feel like you have to go to school, and definitely don't choose a major because someone else told you that you should choose that major. Like, if you don't want to be a doctor, don't do a whole bunch of science classes or whatever they have to do. If you know you want to be an art major, do what you want to do, because at the end of the day, if you're not getting any help to pay for your school, because with these loans that you have to take, if you're not getting any if no one's paying for your school, or you're not getting any other help by any other way, these loans, you're going to have to pay them back for a degree that you didn't even want in the first place. So if you're going to go to school, at least go to school for something that you actually want to do. I started off wanted to go to school for a lawyer. I got there and I realized that for my interest in law, I didn't have to be a lawyer. I can take those law classes without having to be a lawyer. So I'm going to be getting my degree in something in political science, and with a minor in criminology and criminal justice. But I don't want to be a lawyer anymore. So now, I'm not saying it's a pointless degree, but it's not a field that I'm interested in pursuing anymore. So I definitely can still get a job, and I'm definitely still going to get a job with my degree, and have that work field experience, just in case. Who knows, maybe later in life, 10, 15 years from now, I'll be like, okay, I do want to go to law school. But in my life right now, that's not something I want to do. So I really wish I would have definitely explored other degrees before I had chose my major and just stuck with it. So don't let nobody make you feel bad for changing your degree. If you change it 2, 3, 4, 5 times, as long as whatever it takes for you to finish school, that's all that matters. FYI, if y'all catch me looking down a lot, I have a few points that I want to talk about in my video. So if you catch me counting down a lot, that's why. I also want to say something about community college, and I feel like community colleges are not talked about enough. Everybody always talks about a 4-year college, a 4-year college, a 4-year college, 4-year college. Getting a degree from a community college is totally okay. You do not have to feel bad like the people that you went to high school with or some of your friends are going to a 4-year college. But if you know that a 4-year college is not for you, that is okay. And if you only want to go get a 2-year degree or a certificate or a trade or whatever it may be, that is totally okay. And 9 out of 10 times, depending on if you're getting financial aid or not, you'll probably get that degree for free. That's what happened to me. I started off at a 2-year school, and I ended up getting an Associate of Arts, and then I transferred to a 4-year school. So, and I totally don't regret starting off at a community college. Do I miss that I missed out on my freshman experience? Maybe, just a little bit, but nothing like I'm happy that I don't have that much debt when I'm leaving my 4-year university. So if a community college is where you want to start, I totally recommend it. Even if you want to go for a semester or just a year, I say get your prereqs out of the way at a community college, because I personally feel that it helped me in the long run. When I finally got to my university, I only had to worry about my major classes, and that was a lot less stressful on my mental, and it made me feel a little more better in being happy in where I started, and that I had a degree already. So if I decided that I didn't want to do the 4-year schooling anymore, I had something else to fall back on. Okay, so now I just did a little spill on the community college. I want to start talking about the academics before I start talking about the fun stuff, I guess, that everybody raves about college. So first, I'm going to talk about, you're deciding to go to college, and you done pick your major, and it's time to start signing up for classes. Make sure, well, if you're a freshman, you're definitely probably not going to get high priority. It goes from senior, junior, sophomore, freshman, of course. But when you're signing up for classes, when they give you your time window, make sure you are doing it. Classes fill up very, very fast, and I go to a small school, so I can only imagine what happens at a larger school. These classes fill up very, very, very fast. And if you're going to a small school like I do, they don't offer the classes that you want to take every semester. Sometimes they may offer them every year or every other year. Like, it's not something that's offered every semester. So you got to make sure you're really on your stuff when you're really signing up for classes. Because if you're not on your stuff and you end up waiting till the last minute, like right before school starts or something like that, you're end up in classes that you don't want to be in, and it's kind of like, and it's probably going to feel a lot harder to actually be engaged and want to do well in these classes, because you don't want to be in these classes because these are not the classes that you want to be signed up for in the first place. So signing up for classes, make sure you're really on your stuff and that you're really prioritizing that time when it comes around for you to sign up for your classes. Going along with signing up for your classes, don't overstimulate yourself with signing up with so many classes. I think a lot of people, to be a full-time student, I'm pretty sure it's 12 to 15 credits. I think minimum 12. I think the max you can do is 18, or at least at my school. It might be the same at all universities, but I know at my school the max credits you can do is 18. With that being said, don't overstimulate yourself when you're picking classes, or when you're picking classes, because you don't want to do 5-6 classes. If you know you can't handle that heavy workload, don't do it, because then you're going to end up failing classes, and then you're going to have to retake classes, or it might even make you feel like you're just like, what are you here for? Like, you feel like you're here and it's pointless because you're doing something that you don't want to do. You're overstimulated. You feel like you have nothing else to do but to do schoolwork. So overstimulating your classes is definitely not something I recommend. Now, if you know you can handle that workload, then I definitely say go for it. Me personally, I just wouldn't do it. It's been times during my college career that I took 1 class or 2 classes because I just knew where I was mentally and I just couldn't do it. But definitely don't overstimulate yourself with classes, because it's just going to lead to a really, really big burnout, and you don't want that to happen, especially if college is something that you actually want to do and you are desiring to complete it. So if you only have to take 2-3 classes a semester, definitely I say ask how it's going to work with your financial aid if you're getting that. But if not, if you need to take a break and focus on yourself, there's nothing wrong with that, and dialing back your schedule to make sure that you are okay at the end of the day. Following up with that is, don't compare your timeline to someone else. Let's say you start school with a couple of your best friends, and y'all all go to the same school, y'all all started together, and then you are starting to fall behind, and you're like, okay, well, like graduation is supposed to be in 3 years, and I'm not looking like I'm going to be graduating in 3 years. Then that is totally okay. Don't compare yourself. Okay, y'all, I'm so sorry. My phone overheated. This Vegas weather is something serious. But I was just talking for like a good 15 minutes before I realized that my phone has overheated. But let me just continue. I stopped on saying don't compare your timeline to someone else. Yes, definitely don't compare your timeline to someone else. Your journey is your journey. No one will do your journey like you do your journey. So don't be upset if you are having to stay in school a little longer, or you get to graduate sooner than what you thought you were going to graduate. That is totally okay. However your timeline is meant to work out is going to work out for you. I definitely think you shouldn't get just too hard on yourself that you are not completing your goal, quote unquote, in this time frame that you expect yourself to, because like I just said, you might graduate sooner, you might graduate later. It is totally okay whenever you graduate, and you set your, as long as you're completing the goal that you set out for yourself, is all that matters. I've been in school for 5 years and I don't feel bad about it. In the beginning I definitely did, but then I had to come to realize is that, Shariah, why are you really upset about these, like, not completing in 4 years? And then I had to be honest with myself, like, okay, I just wanted to complete with the people that I went to high school with. And I'm like, you don't even talk to the people that you went to high school with. And that's another thing, like 9 out of 10 times you're probably not friends with these people that you went to high school with. So there's no point to compare yourself to the journey that they went through. It is totally okay. I really want to stress this enough. It is totally okay to complete your journey whenever you are meant to complete your journey. Do not feel bad about yourself. Do not pity yourself because you did not complete your degree or your program when you compared yourself to your high school friends or classmates or whatever the case may be. As long as you're doing what you are seeking out to do, that's all that matters. No matter how long it takes you to get there, if you complete the goal, you're gonna feel accomplished to yourself, for yourself, no matter how long it takes to get there. I want to mention something about having a more like student personal relationship with your professor in a professional way. But I definitely think, like, which I really wish I would have did when I first started school, was that introduce yourself the first day of classes. And you know, if it's before your class, if you're one of the first people, most of the time professors are probably closer to the last people to enter the class than students, but hey. But if it happens to be that your professors are already in there and you're one of the first people there, introduce yourself. Like, hey, my name is so-and-so. I'm really excited to be in your class. I'm very looking forward to this class. And, you know, or express your interest that may be in that class. Or even if it's after class, do the exact same thing. Wait till class is over, you know, hey, be like, hey, professor, I just want to introduce myself. I'm so-and-so. I am looking forward to having this class, and I am very thankful and looking forward to doing well in your class. And just simply doing that, I feel that professors are a little more willing. Now, this is not going to apply to all professors, because some professors are just there to do their job, and that's it. They don't care about you, and that's just the truth. Some of these professors just don't care. But if you have a personal relationship in a professional way, you can, some professors are more likely to help you if they know that you have fallen behind, or if they see you that you're struggling. They be like, I remember this student, they are very active, they usually do stuff on time, and they made sure they introduced me to themselves, and you know, they made sure they stood out to me. And I definitely think that's something that you probably should want to do when you're taking these classes with these professors, is because they're more likely willing to help you if you introduce yourself, or you just express a little more interest into the class or wherever it may be. They may see you might get to midterms, and like you're like, okay, I didn't realize this class was going to be this hard, and they might grant you a deadline or extension on your deadline because they know you are a good student and they know that you are trying your best. But if some professors just like, okay, this is not somebody I don't know, and they're just giving you, some professors might just be like, hey, I had a deadline, you didn't complete the deadline, it is what it is, you get a 0. But it might be a professor that be like, okay, hey, I know the student, me and them are usually, you know, they usually come talk to me after class, they usually email me, or whatever the case may be. I'm willing to give them an extension. This will not apply for every professor, but sometimes if you have that more personal relationship in a professional way, you are more likely to, they're more likely willing to help you. So I just want to say that about your relationships with your professors, because some of them, like, some of them don't care, but some of them do really want to see you fail. Like, not fail, succeed. Some of them really do want to see you succeed, and that they want the best for you. Like, they are not here to make you fail. That's the thing. They are not here to make you fail. They are here to help you accomplish the goals that you have set out for yourself. So, with that being said, I just really recommend getting a having a really nice, like, professional student professor relationship on a little bit of a personal level. Like, you don't got to know about their family, they don't got to know about yours, but just like they know a little bit about you, where if it comes to a time like where it's hard, they are going to help you. After like that, I just want to move on to talking about getting a counselor. I definitely think getting a counselor helped me so much during my schooling journey, my college career. Having a professor, or not a professor, having a counselor has helped me so much. A lot of times, this is a lot of people's first time moving away from their state, their city, even their home. If you're just going to a school in your city and it's just down the street and you're deciding to live on campus, I think you really won't see your family as often as you think you might if you're living in the state or in the same city of your school. Hey, this don't apply to everybody, but it might. But getting a counselor, this is like a huge life transition, and I don't think people realize how much of a mental toll is that it's going to take on yourself. And when you are not used to having this source of independency, and you're not used to doing things on your own, like you're used to having things done for you all the time, it's going to be a tough transition. You're going to want to make, like, oh, why did I leave so far away? Like, why did I leave my parents? Why did I leave my family? Like, I don't like it here. I want to go home. And that's not what this is meant to be. This is supposed to be for bettering yourself, and leaving your family is going to be hard, but eventually you're going to have to do it, whether you're ready or not. But I definitely recommend getting a counselor. It helped me through so many friendship problems that I had while in school. I had relationship problems. I had personal problems, family problems. Getting someone that doesn't have any source of, like, emotional connection to you was so helpful for me. And I really love that I got a counselor, and it really will help. I forgot to mention this, but don't buy your books right away. I definitely say wait, because a lot of these professors be like, you're going to need your book for this class. You're going to need da-da-da-da for your class. I say wait. I say wait a good week to make sure you actually want to stay in this class. And then also wait a good week, and it, like, for the same week of making sure you want to stay in this class, and making sure that you are actually going to need this book, because if not, you're going to be wasting. And these books do not be cheap. They be like sometimes $100, $200. I think the most I ever paid for a book was like $150. I don't know though. I honestly, after a while, I had to stop buying books because I wasn't using them. Like, it was just becoming a waste of money for me. But I think that just might be my choice though. But I definitely say wait. Don't buy your book before you start the class. Wait till you actually get in the class, see, and even go and rate my professor. See whatever the class you're taking, and with that professor, see what the people say about is having the book necessary. Some may say yes, some may say no. And then when you get to the class, use your own judgment to decide, okay, having a book will be beneficial for my good, and then that's when you get the book or not. So I just wanted to make sure I included that. So I guess now to a little more fun part.
Let's go.
That everybody talks about college. I just want to start off saying, like, I'm a homebody, so my experience is definitely completely different to someone else's experience who likes to go out. I've went to, I think, one or two college parties. First one I went to was a Halloween party. It wasn't really for me. It was definitely like a fun time, like the first 30 minutes, but after that I was ready to go. Like, it's good, like, if you're trying to meet new people, then yeah, but other than that, I was over the partying. Like I said, I'm a homebody. I don't like to go to parties. If anything, I would just rather hang out with my friends. Like, we can go like to dinner, or we can go like do something fun. Like, a party is not my definition of fun, but some people like to party, and I think it also might be because I go to a different, like a smaller school. So maybe if I would have went to a bigger school, maybe I would have actually liked that environment, and maybe I would have met way more people than I have met. But partying, if it's for you, then you are gonna love college parties. I know they are fun. For other people, they can be a little dangerous though. So make sure when you're going out, don't ever go to a college party by yourself. Make sure you have a buddy at all times. Even if it's just, well, we're going to get into the friend situations in a second, but don't go to a college party ever by yourself. Wait till you have like a nice solid friend group that you can actually trust, and you will be fine. But I think going to a party is definitely, you can meet so many different people that way, and if you want to have the true college experience, then partying is definitely a part of that. Aside from partying, let's talk about friends. Friends is lovely. Where can I start? This may be a little controversial, but I don't think you should trust anybody that you have just met. Don't be so quick to call them your friends. Everybody is your acquaintance until they prove to you that they are your friend. My uncle always told me before I went to school, you don't know anybody until you have a kid with them or until you live with them. And those have never been true words in my life. I used to be like, my friend, and then I done made several different friends, and we have fallen out for many different reasons. But then when I actually look back at those friendships, were we really friends, or were we just friends because we lived together? Will we have really met outside and actually been able to stay friends for so long if we didn't live together in our dorm? So I think for my case, I don't think that might have been happening, but that's just me. So like I said, trust no one. You do not know these people. These people are strangers to you. Like how your parents used to tell you as a kid, don't talk to strangers. Not saying don't talk to them, not saying that, but I'm definitely saying making sure you are not being so quick to call somebody your friend unless they show you that they have the qualities that you want in a friend and that you're going to accept from a friend. So don't be so quick to call people your friends, because that's how a lot of drama gets started. A lot of issues get started because it's a lot of he said, she said stuff. They try to say, well, you said this and you said that, or you hurt my feelings this way, or I hurt your feelings that way. Just keep it cool, calm, and collected until you have. And another thing is, sometimes you may think people are your friends, but they really are not. Like, they can be talking behind your back and then be smiling in your face. Some friendships you may be trauma bonded by because something that they told you when y'all first met. Those friendships never goes well. But be very careful about who you choose to call your friend, because like I just said, everybody is not your friend. Be careful who you call your friends. I remember talking to my aunt one time about a situation that I had with one of my friends, our ex-friends now, but she was like, people got to stop using this friend word so loosely. There's a reason why the word acquaintance exists. People are your acquaintances until they prove to you that they are the friend that you want in your life. So with that being said, be very selective about who you have your friends. And it's okay to only have 2-3 good friends. You don't need to have a large group of friends, because I feel like the more people, the more problems. Like, I like say more money, more problems, more people, more problems. And the more people I decided to be friends with, the more problems that came into my life. Now I have a good handful of friends, and I'm totally content on where my friendships are with those people. And I am happy that it's woosah. Is that the right word? Woosah? I don't know. But it's just very, like, it's a lot healthier friendships than the past friendship that I was in. So be careful about who you call your friends. I want to talk about relationships. I had a relationship my second year of college, and we dated for like a couple of months. And then I had a relationship for a good bit of my senior year, and it didn't work out either, but that's okay. I definitely think your freshman year, don't get in a relationship. I wouldn't. This is your time to find out who you are, and you're never going to be able to find out who you are if you're consumed with someone else. I'm not saying that it doesn't work, because it definitely can work, but I would try to stay away from getting in a relationship your first year of college. Just get to know people, get to experience life living on your own as an adult now, legally. Or some people might go to college at 17, but that's not the point. But this is your first time being on your own without family, more than likely. And hopefully, this is going to be a fun time in your life. Hopefully it is. But I don't think getting in a relationship with someone is going to, they can definitely be fun, and they can definitely you always have somebody to hang out with, because, well, I don't know, some people don't always hang out with their significant others, but me personally, I always hang out with my significant others. But I definitely think getting in a relationship is something that you should wait towards. Like, I definitely think you should probably date around. Dating around does not mean hooking up. Dating around means actually getting to know people. By my definition, dating around means getting to know people. And dating around also allows you to help you decide what you like and what you don't like in a partner. And it's totally okay to be by yourself. You don't have to have a partner. And the sooner you realize that, the better your college experience will be. So I definitely say don't rush to get in a relationship with someone. If you do, just make sure you keep your own individuality, because it's so easy to get wrapped up in that person, and you can see yourself falling up behind, and you're not completing the goals that you wanted because you're just always so focused on just being with that person. So I definitely say date around. There's nothing wrong with dating around, but necessarily calling someone your boyfriend or your girlfriend, I will hold on to that. I will hold on to that one, y'all. I also want to talk about financial aid, because I'm not sure where it cut off at, but financial aid, always go down to that financial aid office, because they always have money. They may try to tell you they don't, but they always do. It might not be a lot, but they always have money that they can give people. So just say, hey, I'm having trouble with my financial situation right now. I want to know if there were any other grants or scholarships or loans that I can take in order to get my bill paid off, because I am not going to be able to pay off my bill if I don't have any financial assistance. So definitely make sure you are talking to the financial aid office. And I think you should talk to them so much, by the time they see your face walk in, they already know what you're coming in here for. That's how I think you should be asking these schools for money, because if you are able to get financial aid from these schools. But I definitely think talking to the financial aid office is important. So with that being said, I just want to finish off the video is making sure that you prioritize yourself. more than likely you're probably going to be going to a school that has at least a couple hundred students, or even if you're going to a bigger school, it might have a couple thousands of students. And it's so easy to get wrapped up as not being by yourself because you have a roommate. Also talk about roommates before I conclude the video. Making sure you have time to yourself, because like I just said, it's so easy to get wrapped up into somebody else's life and somebody else's time and somebody else's schedule, and you're just like, oh, I want to hang out with this person because it's the only time that I'm going to be able to hang out with them. If you haven't made any time for yourself, it's okay not to hang out with people. It is okay to say, hey guys, I'm just not feeling it. I really need to put myself first. I have been struggling, or I need to do my homework. Make sure you're doing that, because it will eat you up if you are not. If you are not giving yourself to be by yourself, you're not gonna never know who you are. You have to. And college is a learning experience. This is your time to learn exactly who you are. So if you're learning who you are and doing this and doing it in a healthy way, making sure time for yourself is going to help you grow and flourish during your college career. Roommates. We love a good roommate. This can be either the best time of your life or the worst time of your life. But living with people that you don't know can be a little hard. I definitely say when y'all first move in and you don't know this person, have a conversation about what boundaries that you are expecting from each other and what y'all want from each other. If you don't want nobody being in your room when you're not there, make sure you express that. If you don't want a significant other or a partner that they have there while you're there, express that. If you don't like them touching your things or going through your things, because it happens, unfortunately it does, or you don't want them to borrow your things without asking you, make sure you express that, because that's how a lot of friendships end, a lot of problems get started. I done heard some crazy things about roommates. I done had a couple of crazy roommate stories, but we're not going to talk about that right here. This is an advice video. So college roommates, make sure you set those boundaries, because that is the most important part. And especially and it's okay if you feel like you have to switch your room because you just know you're not going to be able to get along with the roommate. Make sure you go to the housing people of your building or whatever it may be and express your concerns, it's just not gonna work, I do not feel safe here, or whatever the case may be. Make sure you're expressing those clearly so they will be able to help you out. But you don't have to tolerate living with somebody that you just don't feel comfortable with, you don't get along with, because that's how a lot of issues get started, and we don't want no issues. If we're paying to experience something, we want our experience to be worth the price. And if I want to pay for something, I'm going to pay for something that I'm going to actually like. And if I don't like my roommate, I'm not going to keep paying to stay in a room with someone that makes me feel uncomfortable. So, definitely roommates, make sure you are having those conversations. And if something comes up in a semester that they do that you don't like, and feel like it's something that they're not cleaning the way you like, or if you like to be the one in control of only cleaning stuff, then express it like, hey, I don't mind cleaning up all the time because I like stuff cleaned a certain way. Some people might be okay with that, some people might not. You just gotta have a conversation with your roommates. But I definitely, make sure you have those conversations with your roommates, because those are going to be very important to your living on campus experience. So I'm pretty sure I talked about everything that I wanted to talk about. If y'all have any questions, leave them down below. If y'all want me to make a part 2 to the video, leave that down below. I'll try my best to answer everyone's question. If there's something that you have a question that I didn't mention in this video, or a question that you have that you want me to expand further that I did mention in this video, leave it down below and I'll try to get to it as soon as I can. But with that being said, thank you for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. This is a hopefully helpful video for you in your college experience. If you are deciding to go to college, or if you're thinking about going to college, or if you're a parent and you want your child to go to college, you know, show them this video. But with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video and thank you for watching. Bye.